Today, I'm going to be making Loretta Lynn's peanut butter fudge. This recipe only has 5 ingredients, believe it or not. You need 3 cups of sugar, and I measured the sugar right into this pot because that's what we're going to be using, so why waste a bowl? So 3 cups of sugar, 1 cup of peanut butter. I use Jif creamy peanut butter, 1 cup of milk, a half stick of butter, and a half tablespoon of vanilla. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take your sugar and your milk, and we're going to heat this on medium-high heat. We're going to stir it constantly, and we're going to let it come to a boil, and we're going to let it boil for 10 minutes. But while we're doing that, we're going to be stirring it constantly. So I'm going to take this off the heat, and I'm going to add my butter very carefully. Don't let it plop. And I'm going to stir this some. You see it's still boiling, so that butter is definitely going to melt even though it's off the heat. And then we're also going to be stirring in our peanut butter. Now what you want to do is you want to get an 8x8 pan. This is where I'm going to differ from her directions. Loretta Lynn says to grease an 8x8 pan.
With butter. With butter,
yes. And pour your fudge in there. I'm using a piece of parchment paper because for me it comes out easier. Says to just let it cool. It doesn't say to put it in the refrigerator or anything like that. And so I'm going to leave it out here on the counter, and I'm going to let it sit here and cool, and then we'll be back to check on it. This has been setting for about 2 hours, and this is the reason why I like to use parchment paper, is just so I can take it out and cut it. This recipe came, it's actually from Loretta Lynn's daughter, Peggy, and it was published in Hendersonville Lifestyle. This is on City Lifestyle Nashville, the website. I will post a link below this video to the link to this article so that you can get the instructions. Really simple though, but I thought it was interesting that the daughter gave the recipe, and she said that it's one of her favorite recipes was the peanut butter fudge. She said, my mom always had a sweet tooth and a particular fondness for peanut butter fudge. She said, when I was little, when I was a little girl, I can remember her getting up in the middle of the night to make a batch, and then come daybreak, the whole house smelled like peanut butter fudge. This is something, though, that I didn't know about Loretta Lynn that I found interesting. She said, shortly after moving to Nashville, my mom entered a bake sale in Madison where she only brought her peanut butter fudge. At first, people just walked by and didn't take any of her fudge. However, she soon got frustrated and started eating the fudge herself. Shoppers could smell the fudge and they started to ask her about it. She then offered them samples and ended up selling her entire batch. Mom was tickled that she had made $130, which was a lot of money back then. Years later, after joining the Grand Ole Opry, Loretta continued to make her fudge and share it with her fellow entertainers and crew. They had the joy of experiencing Loretta singing on stage and feasting on her fudge behind the scenes. So that's where I found the recipe. So
it looks and smells like just like the fudge I make. Very similar to it.
Yes, I cut these in really big pieces. Is there a, here's the smaller one. Oh, okay.
It's kind of crumbly.
It is crumbly.
It all depends on how long you cook it. I like that flavor.
It is good. You have made
You're gonna mess too.
Only because you handed it to me like that.
It's got that gritty, sugary kind of texture. It all depends on how long you boil it. There really wasn't specific times. They gave the 10 minutes, and it was like drip some in a cold water till it firms up. That's usually what they call softball stage. So we were right at that temperature because we had a candy thermometer in there. We were right at the softball stage. So
I love it though. I think it's delicious. It's almost, if you've ever had tablet, it's not quite tablet texture, but it's almost there.
Yeah. Because tablet's almost like brown sugar compressed in
yes. So it is different, but it's almost there.
Yeah, I agree.
It's almost there with, it has a nice peanut butter flavor, but you do use a whole cup of peanut butter. So you want to make sure you pick quality peanut butter. You could jazz this up if you wanted to. You could have put actual peanuts in it, but there's a lot of different ways you could do stuff to it. But I think this is just a really good peanut butter fudge.
It's good just the way it is.
And it was easy to make. If you don't mind boiling something on the stove,
you just have to stand there. I stirred it literally the entire 10 minutes.
The entire time, yeah, the entire time. But it doesn't take that long to make. So even though you're stirring it for 10 minutes, it only took you, total 15 minutes time to make it. Then you have to wait. But I hope you enjoyed the video. You'll have to let me know if you make this fudge. And thanks for watching.